Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to All Out Destruction Tour Day 2. So we got to watch in Day 1 Saturday Tour's racing. Today we're going to take a look at Sunday Tour's freestyle, and I think that's probably what we'll do moving forward, just switching back and forth, alternating from racing to freestyle for each tour. So if one tour is covered with racing, the next tour will be covered in freestyle. So taking a look real quick at the Sunday Tour race final here, it all came down to Engine 85, driven by Evil Nexus this week, typically driven by Lurch versus Gravedigger Legend, driven by Electric Sins. And Electric Sins and Gravedigger Legend is our first event week 1 racing winner, which is going to put him in a nice spot in the point standings. But with that said, we are covering freestyle today, so let's get right into it. Starting off with Engine 85. You saw him almost win the racing championship for event 1. Let's see if he's got what it takes to throw down a really good freestyle and put himself in first place after week 1 in points. Starting off early with a nice little jump here, trying to keep himself busy. If you're not typically familiar with how freestyle is judged, judges want to see variety. They also want to see big tricks, big saves, but you also must fill the clock. It is so important to be able to fill that clock. If you leave too much time on that clock, it can really hurt your score. But if you put together an incredible run with still some time on the clock, sometimes that can be enough to get you to the winner circle in freestyle. As we see the technical prowess of Engine 85 throwing down a backflip with that hose going, which is a creative move that only the fire trucks can do. So A for creativity from Engine 85 and Evil Nexus. Evil Nexus is typically a Saturday Tour driver who drives Son of a Digger, but he's stepping in for Lurch, who couldn't make it to this event. On occasion, we do see people from the Saturday Tour step up and drive the Sunday Tour trucks, but at the end of the day, the points will remain with that truck. So Evil Nexus will not have these points carry over to the Saturday Tour in any type of way, just in case anybody's out there is confused, as Evil Nexus in Engine 85 is throwing down a very, very tight run here as he's trying to save it, and he does. Big save for Evil Nexus as he is throwing that truck all over the place, making it so Lurch will probably have quite a handful of things to do to try to get this truck back next week and make it race worthy. But this is a very solid run starting for Evil Nexus in Engine 85 as he tries to avoid that wall. Remember, we do shut you down if you stay on your lid for too long, but he's not having any issues right there as he is just throwing down technical trick after technical trick. Again, very strong runs for Engine 85 by Evil Nexus with a score of 8.03 to start things off, and that is going to be a tough score to beat. Moving right along, we have Bryce Bowe in an Escalade. Bryce Bowe is known for his freestyle runs. He says, quote, "I race because I have to, I freestyle because I want to." So you can tell that Bryce Bowe is a big-time freestyle fan, and let's see if Bryce can throw together something here that makes him competitive in that beautiful Escalade truck. Bryce Bowe throwing down a big backflip there into a wheelie. Good technical skills as he gets rid of that windshield. The truck is holding up pretty well so far. Remember, it's all about making sure you fill the clock. You don't want to come out too early and throw down anything too hard that's going to destroy your truck and make it so that you can't finish the run. So typically you'll see drivers throw out big tricks towards the end of their freestyle run as he gets grabbed up by the car and it somehow manages to get off of it. Now, I will admit it is Beamng, so sometimes, some weird things happen that I can't quite explain. So we just go with it and act like it's all normal as he sidewalls and gets a nice save. Bryce Bowe having a pretty solid technical run here. I haven't seen any massively big tricks which may hurt his score, but I am seeing a lot of technical tricks. And there's a nice save by Bryce in an Escalade. And I think that's going to be it. So Bryce Bowe with a score of 6.68. I think it was the lack of big tricks that held him back. And moving right along, this is our first look at Chillin Villain, driven by Cryo Wolf. Coming out with a nice slap wheelie to get things started here. Cryo Wolf is one of the new guys who's been really taking his time, trying to really nail down the ins and outs of what it takes to be a successful driver in the All Out Destruction Tour. I've gotten a chance to race him, and he is coming along very well in his rookie season, as I am also in my rookie season. It's always fun to go neck and neck with other people who are just getting started. It's almost like we have a bit of a rivalry ourselves, as he throws out a nice wheelie over the obstacles. Again, he's just taking his time. He wants to make sure he fills that clock, as he just throws away half of his body right there on that landing. Looking like he was trying to go for a bicycle, didn't quite get it. Nice little sky wheelie for Cryo Wolf. Just trying to stay busy. There's another bicycle attempt, and that time a little bit better. I think that'll probably count as a bicycle. Just didn't hold it very long. And into a donut, just kicking that door out from under him. But a solid donut by Chillin Villain. Cryo Wolf, again, is just trying to make sure he fills that clock before he throws out anything big. And there's a nice little transfer into, can he save it? And I don't think he's going to be able to save it. That's going to probably shut him down. So unfortunate for Cryo Wolf and Chillin Villain, 6.56. And here comes Avenger, driven by Phoenix, or Phoenix as he likes to be called, but I always call him Phoenix because I don't know, I just can't seem to drop that R for some reason. But one of our strongest race competitors. This guy has taken me out more times than I care to admit, but that's because he's such a darn good driver. In fact, he took me out of racing this week. He's a veteran racer, a veteran driver, so we should expect big things this season from Phoenix in Avenger. In fact, probably if I had to be a betting man, I would probably say that this guy will probably take the whole entire shebang. But I'll do my best to represent, as the competition is getting better and better each week. But again, you know, when you got talent, you got talent. And Phoenix in Avenger has got loads of talent, as he is showing off his skills as a freestyle driver with a beautiful bicycle into a nose wheelie, and then a beautiful bicycle into a cartwheel. That could have honestly been a sidewall or bicycle. It's hard to tell from the angle I'm at, as he goes and rolls himself over and to reverse. Now, if you hit too hard on the top and then the officials feel like your driver may be in danger, they will shut you off. But it seems like Phoenix is still going to keep going as he tries to save it. Can he save it? Oh, I don't think he's going to be able to save it. He had an incredible run going up until that point. But unfortunately, there was time left on the clock, 7.16, and I think that that is a direct result from the amount of time left. But great run by Phoenix. As we move on to another rookie, little due in Amos Moses. This guy really shined in racing tonight, got all the way to the semifinals. So he is one of the standout rookie stars so far in Season 4. This guy is one of the few racers in AODT who actually is a racer in real life, as he is coming out with his custom truck that he actually does mudding with. Into a nice little slap wheelie, into a front flip. Oh, can he save it? And he does. Big save into the sidewalls. Nice technical tricks by Little Do. Starting off strong, throwing big tricks right out the gate. Now, sometimes this can hurt you if you throw out too big of tricks and your truck can't get to the finish, and it looks like he's having some trouble with that truck. It can hurt your score, but it doesn't seem like it's hindering him too much, as Little and Amos Moses looks like he sets up a interesting front flip off the backflip jump, and he's able to land it. Creativity into a backflip, front flip into a backflip. Creativity. He has constantly got things going this run. This is probably looking to be one of the strongest runs so far, as long as that truck stays awake. Into a nice sidewall, into another sidewall, into a donut, tornado, cyclone sidewall, whatever you want to call it. He is just flipping that truck every which way. Little Do and Amos Moses leaving it all out on the track. Coming out strong. He wants to be in a good spot to start the season. And there's a nice donut. That'll finish things off as he flips it over, doing a little bit of a spin-a-rooney, if you will, and tries to flip it back on all fours, can't quite. And there's an 8.63, putting Amos Moses with Little Do in first place. Next up, we have Bigfoot, driven by, well, me. You can't really make it out, but I did put the Philadelphia Eagles logo on my flags because we are in Philadelphia, which is where I live. So this is me announcing my freestyle run in my monster truck in my city. So this is a bit weird for me, but take a good look there. There's the Philadelphia Eagles Super Bowl champion flags on there with my name. This is obviously my channel. I am your host, and I'm sitting here trying my best to just get as many points as I can. After all, this is event 1, so this is a marathon, not a sprint. And I knew that I was losing points after I got eliminated in the first round of racing, so I figured come out, do a freestyle run that's going to get me just a decent score. As you can see, I'm not strong. I am not a very technical driver. It's something I definitely need to work on, is my freestyling, and hopefully that will improve as the season goes on, because I am a rookie driver. I'm a rookie announcer. I'm a rookie in every sense of the word, going up against guys who know what they're doing. This week I elected for the Bigfoot 11 truck. I was always a fan of the Wildfoot truck, so that's why I went with this colorway, plus Eagles green. I figured it just worked perfectly in Philly. Each week you'll see me running a different Bigfoot truck, as I'm trying to just fill cloth, throw out some tricks here without destroying the truck, mainly just looking for a solid score. As you can see there, throwing out big air into a nice transfer, if I do say so myself. Just staying active. It's weird announcing yourself, so I don't really know what else to do other than tell you what I was trying to do here. As you can see, I go for this backflip here, and I didn't land it cleanly, and that would be all she wrote for me. As a 7.4 respectable score, but definitely leaves a lot to be desired in the future. As we go on next to the racing winner of the night, Gravedigger the Legend, driven by Electric Sins. This guy came out and surprised a lot of people, taking the race win. As I had mentioned before, my money was on Phoenix, but Electric Sins was able to figure out a way to win racing event number 1, and he did it beating some very good drivers, including Evil Nexus, who's also a veteran racing driver and a very strong competitor. So he's coming out here trying to throw down a good freestyle run. He's sitting pretty in points, as you see a lot of technicality there for Gravedigger the Legend, driven by Sins. Just looking for a nice solid run, hitting obstacles. Again, it's so important to stay busy during these runs. You don't want to leave too much idle time. As he rolls that one, can he save it into the sidewalls? And he hits the wall hard, and that's going to get him shut down, unfortunately. So 5.86 for Gravedigger Legend and Electric Sins. It was a strong run for Gravedigger Legend, but he left too much time, and that really hurt his score. Next up, we got Helton in Time Flies, who's also another incredibly strong racer. So he's looking to throw out a very solid run here to just add points up. Right now, it's early in the season, so getting these points is so crucial for the long haul. Everybody wants to start off with a nice start to their season, as he does a nice transfer over the tabletop there. Just trying to stay busy, hitting another obstacle. A nice sky wheelie there. Into another transfer. Just staying busy, staying active, putting together an exciting run here. Time Flies is such a cool looking monster truck. And he is whipping that thing every which way. Just staying very active. And there's a huge save for Helton. That's going to help him in the points. Just air after air, doing a very good job staying super busy during this. You want to make sure you don't hit the wall. Remember just what happened last run. Into a huge backflip, into a wheelie. Oh my God. What a run so far by Helton in Time Flies. Very impressive run so far. It's going to be interesting to see if he has enough to take the lead into a donut. He knows he's doing a good job here. There's another jump. Just staying very busy, very good. Is it going to be enough to take over Amos Moses and Little Dude? That's the question, though. Some seriously impressive moves, though. That backflip really blew my mind over that spine. And there's another big air. And that's going to wrap up Time Flies. 8.56, which is good enough for second, but just shy of Little Dude and Amos Moses, as he's able to get a second place berth, but just shy of being able to take the lead. But solid run for Time Flies. Next up, we got the Rod Ryan Show. Beautiful looking F-150 truck here. Of course, the Rod Ryan monster truck is basically a marketing tool for the Rod Ryan Show out of Houston, Texas. When Monster Jam is in Houston, you'll see the Rod Ryan truck run. And that's driven by a guy who I'm not even going to try to pronounce his name. We'll just call him Abu. As he's coming out strong, just throwing out some pretty solid tricks into a technical nose wheelie. You gotta love the American flag design as he loses his front wheel. That's not gonna be good moving forward. Oh, there goes both his tires. This may be it for the Rod Ryan Show in his first run. Yep, that's gonna be all. They're gonna shut him down. 5.33 for Rod Ryan Show. Disappointing start to his season, as next we go to Thomas in Wolf's Head. Wolf's Head's running on Saturday by Floof and now Sunday by Thomas. Both competitors that have been in the league for a bit of time now. That is an incredibly cool looking truck. I was not familiar with this truck getting started into the AODT season, but it is a very nice looking truck. As he comes out just strong, just looking to throw down whatever he can. Remember, you're going to see people take their time as they get started because they want to make sure that they fill some clock, and then as the run goes on, you'll start seeing them throwing out bigger tricks. Unless you're Little Dude, who just apparently likes to go balls to the wall from the time he starts to the time he finishes. As he rolls it, can he save it? And he does save it, just barely. And I'm not sure if they're going to shut him down or not. It looks like they're going to keep letting him run. Remember, it all depends on how long you're on your roof before they shut you off. If you're rolling back and forth trying to pick it up, they will shut you down, because eventually every truck will be able to get back on all fours. So it's got to be one consistent motion. As he goes back on his hood again, while he's rolling around, he's not really throwing out anything massive, and I think that that is going to hurt his score in the long run as he goes throughout a backflip and again onto the sidewalls, into a flip, now into a pogo. So a big save for Wolf's Head, but there's a difference, I'd say, between just flailing your truck around and doing it purposefully, and I think that the judges will look for that as he gets hung up on the cars. All types of things going wrong for Wolf's Head on this run, and that's going to be it, I think, for Wolf's Head. As he gets stuck on those cars, they're going to shut him down. So let's see what we have for Wolf's Head as a score. And Wolf's Head, driven by Thomas, is going to get a 7.8. So the judge is giving him a pretty generous score there. I guess the big saves was enough to get him up into the higher end of the score range. As next up we have Axe in another fire truck themed monster truck, which looks beautiful, if I do say so myself. I gotta say, I never thought a fire truck would look so good as a monster truck, as he loses his wheel to get started in this round, so he's starting handicapped right away. This is the danger in trying to come out big, as he gets hung up on the cars, but Beam doing the Beam thing, glitching him forward. Here he comes over the big tabletop. Somehow doesn't get a massive amount of air as he runs over his own tire. And he gets hung up on the cars again, but he's over them. So I guess this must be a desync error. for those of you unfamiliar with Beam, desync is when what we are seeing is different from what he's experienced. So I'm guessing on his end, he still has all 4 tires, but what we see is him missing a tire. It's one of those problems in Beam that needs to be fixed, and hopefully one day they'll get to it. But we work with what we got here, folks, as Axe, driven by Papa John, is just doing his thing. I haven't seen anything crazy this run. He's just trying to stay busy at the end of the day. Hitting air after air into a bit of a slap wheelie there. A 3-wheeled slap wheelie. Looking for a big air here, and he gets it into a slap wheelie. Nothing crazy so far. There's a donut. As he gets that truck moving, he is trying to throw variety into his run, and that's always good. You always want to see that. And he's doing a pretty good job of staying busy, but I don't think that that's going to be enough to take the lead. Not even close. As he's just moving that truck left and right. And that's going to be it for Axe and Papa John with a 7.7. So another generous score by the judges. And now we have our final competitor for the night, and that is Dom in Immortal. In fact, they call him Immortal Dom, and that's because his truck is Immortal, a vampire-themed truck running on the Willman chassis. And he comes out throwing down a nice little jump over the spine to get things started. Dom is definitely a veteran of the AODT League. This is not his first season, so he knows what he's doing as he comes in, throwing down a nice little sidewall spin to get things going. Dom knows what's expected of him to put together a good run, so I wouldn't be shocked if he throws together something that could at least challenge the top 2 spots. Getting nice air there, just staying busy, not destroying his truck. This is exactly what you kind of want to see. He hits the wall a little bit, but it doesn't look like it's enough to get him shut down, as he is just all over the place right now. Not much big air. He's doing a good job of shedding the body off that truck, though. Nice little sky wheelie there into the bus. So while we haven't seen any majorly big tricks from Immortal Dom, we have seen a lot of saves, and that could go in his favor when it comes to scoring time, as that truck is just barely hanging on. You saw the rear axles there, almost perpendicular with the frame, which is not really how that's supposed to work. You know, you want all 4 tires on the ground, as he is just throwing that truck every which way into a nice little sky wheelie here. So Immortal Dom does fill time, which is good. That helps towards your score. But again, the lack of big tricks are probably going to hurt him when it comes to trying to win first place, as Immortal Dom finishes with a 7.56. So not enough for first place. That's going to put Little Do and Amos Moses winning tonight, as we take a look here at the point standings for Saturday Tour. In first place, Gravedigger. In second place, Son of a Digger. Third, Black Pearl, Wolf's Head, Northern Nightmare, Vendetta, Wildside, Terminal Velocity, El Toro Loco, and Brutus wrapping up your top 10 on Saturday, and that's after racing, so go check that video out. On the Sunday Tour, though, in first place with his freestyle win, we have Amos Moses, who also did pretty solid in racing, followed by Time Flies. In fourth place, we have Gravedigger the Legend, who won racing but came up short in freestyle, which is why you see him in fourth. We have Wolf's Head, Immortal, Avenger, and Escalade, Axe, and then, of course, me in 10th place as Bigfoot, and that wraps up your top 10 on Sunday. So make sure you tune in next week, as we'll be heading to Grand Forks for what is a pretty crazy racetrack, and you'll get to see the Sunday trucks that you saw freestyle today race, and then you'll get to see the Saturday trucks that got to race this week freestyle next week. And that's just how we're going to do things moving forward because I'm one man. I am E.G. Lately, your host. I am your editor. I do this all myself. And essentially, that's all I can do to be able to keep up with both tours. And I want to bring both tours to you because both tours have such talented drivers. And I want both of their skills to be highlighted. So make sure you tune in next week because at the end of this season, we will have World Finals where both tours come together for a knockdown, drag out battle. It's gonna be awesome. So for the All Out Destruction family, I'm your host, E.G. Lately, saying, keep it destructive, folks, and I'll see you next week.